Welcome to Social Commerce in Action. I'm your host, Daryl Worsbacher. I'm coming to you live from Utah. I was in Salt Lake City last week visiting with clients. I'm in Park City this week, visited with a client earlier this week up here. I'm really out in the space trying to see, talking with clients about what are they seeing? What are they doing? What are evolutions that they're able to leverage, from affiliate marketing to rewards programs to innovations with acquiring customers, and how do they get adjustments and how they compensate. So today I'm really excited. Actually, before we jump into there, as you arrive, introduce yourself in the comments. We definitely want to hear from you. And if you have questions throughout, we'd love to incorporate that into the show as well. So the goal of this show is really to bring together thought leaders and people that I've talked to in this space that have innovative concepts, that are seeing what's happening in the industry and really have a pulse on the change, the evolution. And today I'm really excited to bring on somebody who has over 30 years of experience, specifically working with the field. He started his career on the field side of things, building sales teams, has then evolved into running sales teams at countless direct sales companies, consulting with countless direct sales companies on building and growing and measuring sales teams. And his most latest endeavor is working with the group at MLMCC, Mark Rollins' team, specifically on helping clients to adapt to the evolution in the industry and making compensation changes and modeling. So I'm super excited today to bring on our guest, Jeff Jordan. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Daryl. It's great to be here.
Excellent. Thanks, Jeff.
I don't have a warm fire in my background, but it's still great to be here.
It's probably not quite as cold in Arizona as it is up here in Utah.
No, if I had a fire in here, we'd be in trouble.
So let's kick it off. So one of the big things that I've been seeing in this space has really been around people coming into this. Everybody's trying to adapt and introduce affiliate plans, right? So every client I met with last week is either in the midst of launching an affiliate plan or talking about doing that. So at the same time, I've been seeing companies entering the space that are coming from affiliates. So affiliate marketing companies that are looking to supercharge that affiliate by adding a multi-level compensation structure. So I'm really curious, from your perspective, what are you seeing? What are you guys seeing in terms of people entering this space, in terms of coming from an affiliate, introducing a multi-level structure? What are you seeing there? What's the trends over the last several years?
Well, over the last few years, we're seeing those trends that we're seeing are not just affiliates coming into MLM, or not just MLMs coming into affiliate. It's both. In fact, one of the things I like to say, Daryl, is if you're an affiliate, if you have an affiliate style comp plan in place already, we can put an MLM back end on it and supercharge it. If you're an MLM company that doesn't have affiliate, we can add an affiliate on the front end and supercharge it in a different way. So I think today, most existing companies that haven't had affiliate are definitely looking at affiliate plans because it's a new way of marketing in the internet. And you have to kind of, even when you have both plans, you have to kind of keep them separate and have two plans within a plan or within an umbrella of your plan, because sometimes affiliate marketers don't like or don't want to be involved in multi-level or network marketing. So it's important to not only draft it right, but manage it right when you roll it out and present it right and teach your field to present it correctly.
So with that, what are some of the trends though? Like when you look at somebody coming in from an affiliate marketing space and wanting to supercharge it with a direct sale with a multi-level compensation structure, what are some of the trends you're seeing? Are they minimizing the number of levels they pay? Are there certain kind of common practices that you're seeing that are kind of like the best practices per se? Like what have you seen with that?
I think probably the biggest trend with the affiliate marketing only is it can grow based on the number of affiliates you as a company can attract. And so what happens when you add the direct sales model to it, or the multi-level model to it, what really starts to happen is now you get lots of people looking for and recruiting more affiliates for you. So affiliate plans are great, but they're only as good as the number of affiliates that you personally as a company can bring on. because historically affiliates aren't really recruiting a lot of affiliates. They're just going out and using the affiliate link to sell lots of products and earn an override on every product they sell. And once in a while you get a referral or two, but that's not how they think. But when you add the network marketing concept to it, now you got a whole team of network marketers, whether new or existing, who are actually going out and looking for these affiliate marketers and trying to connect them into the plan. So I think that's probably the biggest difference, or what makes a difference.
Which is exactly what I've seen as well, where it's Gordon even referenced it last week, the golden handcuffs, where you get somebody to $300 to $500 in earnings a month, they're not going to go anywhere. Have you seen that as it relates to like affiliate? Like if they're only doing affiliate, is there a ceiling on that, right? A practical ceiling of what people are really able to earn? Whereas with when you add the multi-level component, being able to bring on more affiliates and have more leverage, do you see that as a component to people wanting to kind of expand from like a single affiliate to adding that MLM component as well? Like, how do you see that?
Well, I think as it relates to that income threshold that Gordon was talking about last week, where, I think the number he gave was $300 to $500 a month. If someone gets to that point, they start to get locked in. What we've kind of seen is it's still a part-time business for them, and they're operating that part-time business at part-time at $300 to $500 a month. Where you really start to lock people in the network marketing end of the business is about $1,000 a month, because now it becomes serious to them. And I think years ago it used to be $200 or $300 a month we looked at, but with inflationary times and what wages are today, I mean, $300 to $500 a month, you can work part-time 1 day a week at Target and make that much money, right? So I think we have to up that threshold a little as an industry. And I don't think there is really a number in affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketers will market multiple things, and they'll just drive people and earn the overrides. The more overrides you get them earning by helping them, the more attention they will give to your opportunity. But they're working multiple opportunities, and they're giving their most attention where the most money's coming from.
Speaking of the most money, like what are you seeing as far as people introducing affiliate plans? Like what kind of compensation are they generally leveraging, right? When you look at kind of broadly outside of the space, that's anywhere from a few percent on like Etsy or other places up to 10, 20, even more at like SaaS based or software based. What are you seeing as kind of common patterns of people introducing affiliate plans, and what are they paying on those initial purchases?
Well, I think it's those numbers that you're talking about. The one thing that we have to look at when we design an affiliate plan, or if we're advising someone on an affiliate plan and how it's working, one of the things we try to look at, Daryl, is how much discount are they offering their affiliate buyers. So, you can offer, 20, 30% override, but if they want to give a 20% discount off the product price, and that's the way a lot of affiliates want to do it. They want to go post out to their people, hey, buy through this link and get 20% off. And then it's more reasonable that they're going to earn in the 5, 10, 5, 7, 10% kind of range. I've seen it a little higher. It really depends on the margins of what someone has. And it also depends on the back end. Now, on the back end, if there's a multi-level marketing back end, it's easy to deal with that affiliate, because you take the affiliate and you take the it's got a QV, like the qualifying volume in a plan. And then we know the CV or BV, which is the commission or bonus volume. And in those scenarios, we can reduce those volumes on the affiliate side, so it pays out less into the same plan. But the way the network marketers look at that is, if they get a good affiliate who brings thousands of dollars a month and they're getting half BV on it, they're happy as can be, because it's a lot more than they're making recruiting 1 or 2 people at a time. So no, go ahead.
Say that's a great segue into then existing companies, right? So what are you seeing with existing companies introducing affiliate models? Because that seems like the kind of the more complicated piece of, if they're going to reduce the compensation on that, because it's a scale question, right? They're able to bring on 1,000 customers, but they're going to get paid less. How have you seen that introduced with existing companies, right? So as they're looking to introduce affiliate models, what are some scenarios or best practices you've seen on that?
Yeah. Well, let me answer that two ways. In our consulting practice, we do comp plan work for new companies and for existing companies. The thing I can tell you that's different about new companies is a year or two ago, nobody was asking for affiliate. Today, 100% of our prospects are saying, we want an affiliate. We want an affiliate angle to our comp plan. So it's definitely the trend. It's what's the buzz out there, if you will, of how to do the front end of your comp plan. On existing companies, most of them are coming to us to really look at two things. And this is where we haven't talked about this yet, but this is where our analytics engine can come in and really start to help existing companies. They're looking at, as an existing company, 30 to 40% of their bottom line revenue generally is going into the comp plan. It's their single largest expense. So they're first saying, are we paying things out in the right place? Are they going to the right person who's generating the volume and helping us build the company? And so we're analyzing and looking at that. And then they're saying, how do we implement this affiliate plan? Because if the buzz is affiliate and you're an existing successful company without an affiliate, you're suddenly saying, we need to look at how do we put an affiliate front end on this? And as we know, there's 100 cents in every dollar. And if 30 or 40 cents of that 100 cents is going into the comp plan, we have to analyze BV and margins. And do we launch the affiliate with all the products or part of the products? Sometimes affiliate can work really well by just leading with your 2 or 3 hot products and not offering everything in the affiliate style. So that can go, multiple ways, but I think that's really what we're seeing. There's no question that affiliate marketing, I don't know if I can say strong enough yet it's the future, but I can say it is the current. It is what everybody's talking about, working on, thinking on, strategizing on in today's world. There's no question about it.
So you mentioned, the only 100 cents in the dollar, and I, Gordon mentioned it last time, and I've heard the conversations around, people are starting to look at, paying for productivity, right? Not paying for a retirement. But that's, it's easier said than done with a lot of these existing companies because you have existing leaders. Yeah, it's a very complicated problem to work through when we're talking about, moving more money into the affiliate. Is that really going to be the future or not? But at the same time, paying as retirement isn't really ideal, I don't think either. Like, how do you look at that? How do existing companies address that problem? Because that seems like the elephant in the room as far as being able to really make any shifts is being able to reallocate that compensation dollars. How do you look at that? How do you recommend clients approach that kind of big decision?
Well, I think, as you know, Daryl, one of the differences in what we do in our design work is we have an analytics machine. We have our own commission engine where we can take your existing comp plan, put it into the commission engine, and then we can take the new comp plan we're talking about and put that in. And then we can create all kinds of analytics around that. We can take the data from your existing distributors. And of course, that's confidential. We never take anything except ID numbers. So when we give you back, like one of the favorite reports is called a winner loser report. In the new plan and the new change, who wins and who loses. Do the right people, because when you change a comp plan, and this is what a lot of people don't realize, we've all heard the horror stories that we changed our comp plan and lost our top 2 leaders, right? And because they didn't do a winner loser report and know that they didn't want those top 2 people to lose. And so it's much more detailed when you use analytics to really look at the details of what's happening with your sales, with your volume, with the trend of sales over the last 12 to 24 months. And then we take your existing data, your real data, and here's what we paid out, and here's what the winners and losers earned. And then we do it with the new comp plan, and here's who benefits and here's who doesn't. And are we benefiting the right people? And can we trim it a little? I also want to comment on your thing about, retirement. Our industry, I came in the industry 30 years ago as a distributor, excited about the dream of building a big business and retiring on the beach in Hawaii, right? That's what we sold 30 years ago. The reality is maybe that's not quite as true today as it was then. Maybe it wasn't true then. Maybe it was a big sales pitch, right? But the reality is we do have a residual income engine, but maybe not like we always saw. I won't give you a name, but I'll quote a CEO that we worked with of a major company who came from the field. He's now the CEO. And he says, when we talk about this, he says retirement discussions for our distributors are tough because they always say they're not retired, our top distributors, because they don't want their income to be affected. But these reports and these analytics can show whether they're retired or they aren't. It's very clear. And he says, we don't live in the same world we used to live in, unfortunately. He said, I have to answer to the board of directors. I have to have growth. I have to have my company grow. And if I have to take some dollars from one place in the plan and put them somewhere else to make the company grow, I have to do that because I'm answering to my board. And so I think that's the reality today. Top leaders don't like to hear that. When I put on my leader hat, as you mentioned in my intro, I've built some large organizations. I don't like to hear that. But the world's changing. And as the direct selling industry is changing and we have to put some money to affiliate marketing, where do we put that money? And if we take a little, if we're not talking about saying to a top lead, no CEO I've talked to so far, and we know this has happened historically, but none I've talked to has said, let's cut a bunch of money from our top leaders and put it somewhere else. That's not what they're saying. They're saying, how do we best utilize this? How do we have, if we cut a little bit from there to put into an affiliate or to put into the front end of the recruiting, how do we show that that's how and when do we show the trend that they'll get that back as we grow the business and their volume grows? So they get a little lesser percentage on a larger number. And that's the kinds of conversations we have. It's not about how do we hurt our leaders. It's about how do we support our leaders, but yet grow the business at the same time. Because whether you're privately held or publicly held, anybody leading these companies has to produce growth for whoever they're answering to.
That's great insights. I mean, it sounds like really it's analyzing the existing data, really looking at who the winners and losers are. That makes a lot of sense. And then from that, being able to figure out then based on the changes, how that's going to drive growth and everybody wins. And I think that's the key that you have to look at then is how those changes are going to drive growth. So when you look at that, when we talk about like those changes driving growth, is that kind of where you, when you're talking to these big CEOs, like, is it about like that by having the affiliate model or having, more customer gatherers, is that kind of the conversation around growth through that lens? Or do you guys generally see growth in other ways, right? Or how do you guys usually position that back? Is it around growth in that affiliate side or do you see it in other ways?
It is growth in the affiliate side. It is today, as we all know, based on the regulatory environment we're in, about growth in the customer segment. And some people are willing to change a lot of things to get customers, even top distributors, because they don't want to be subject to some of the changes we've seen where there weren't enough distributors. Yeah. So that's certainly part of it. The other part of it that you haven't really mentioned that's a big, big part of it is the mid-level new being under a year or two growing leader. That's growing their segment of the business. And they're the ones that are really, you get a bunch of them, think of the structure of generals and then sergeants in an army. Think of the sergeants who are really starting to grow their business. And are they earning the right amount of money? Because in an existing company, if they're not keeping pace, and they all know, they're talking to other people in the industry, they know what other distributors are earning because the distributors trying to recruit them away from their existing company are telling them what they're making in the new company. And so we've got to have that segment of that growing new population. And that's what this analytics report shows. Who are those people? One of the other things we've experienced is a lot of times in an existing company, you have the existing management the directors of sales, the VP of sales, those people, and I've done those roles, who they're really working with may not be who's really growing the business. It may be who they have relationships with. And so these reports and these analytics show, are you working with the right people to take the business to the next level? So sometimes it's not even about changing the plan. Sometimes, Daryl, it's about changing the focus on who you're working with. And that's also part of what these analytics can show. You know, I'll quote on a quick thing. I just did an article that's going to be on your blog next week, so everybody can watch that on the ByDesign blog. But it starts out by saying, I'm going to quote a little from it. It starts out by saying, if you think business is not like war, you're dead wrong. The strategies and tactics of war, developed over thousands of years, were adopted by businesses hundreds of years ago. Why? Because they work. I'll skip down. War and death simulation, thankfully, isn't business. But does anybody think that the Fortune 500 companies of the world who are successfully growing their companies are doing it without analytics, are doing it without the roadmap to know what they're doing? And then I go on in the blog and talk about 7 things analytics can do for your business. So, you know, it's just a matter of how, as a business owner, and if you're a top distributor listening, or if you're a CEO or an executive or a a comp plan strategist in your company, whatever might be the case of the people listening to this call, you know, it's important to know that wherever you are, that these tools can help you get a better grasp on what's happening in your organization, in your business, so you can better take the proper actions. And then let's be sure that before we take actions, we run the data to say, here's exactly how that's going to look. And is that the result you want?
Totally makes sense. And I guess on that, that's a great segue too, into like one of the things we've talked about before that really resonated with me was you mentioned about like being able to measure directors of sales and VPs of sales, and how do you know if they're productive? Because we see it in our industry all the time, right? Where companies go through different VPs of sales and are they productive or not? Are they producing results? You mentioned before that you have ways of looking at that and how you measure it. How do you look at that? Like how do you measure your VP of sales and make sure that they're actually producing what they should be, right? What's your thoughts there?
Well, again, back to kind of that analytics segment where we show them who are the right people to work with to grow their business. And then we can watch, and then we can track to see, are they working with them? And then we can say, is their growth going up as a result of them working? Because we can track with this engine, we can track one distributor's growth or one distributor's organization over a period of time. And we can do a scatter graph that plots that against all the other people at their same rank in the company, or all people in 3 to 5 ranks, 1 or 2 on either side of them, to say, how are they tracking with other people? And that tells us if our leaders, their upline leaders, as well as our corporate leaders, are making a difference for those people. They all want the help. Anybody building a serious business, if they've made a commitment, they want the help. They want to grow their business to the next level. You know, part of what I train new companies starting is what leaders want. You know, they all want a relationship with the key people in the company, and they want to know that they're being recognized, but they also want the tips and tricks and elements and hand holding and what, you know, and so are we doing that for the right people? Because, you know, at the end of the day, one of the things I'll add to today, as well as to last week where Gordon was talking, when you say what's changed in our industry over the last few years, has anything changed within our space? The one thing that hasn't changed is this is still relationship marketing. And at the end of the day, everybody who comes to these companies, it's about relationships that they want to develop, and it's about relationships that they are developing. So both sides of them in those relationships. And so this is at its highest level, or it's relationship marketing. And if we can teach our people and teach our companies and teach our company corporate leaders to teach leaders that this is relationship marketing, and then track, are you doing that? And then look at sales. Did it make a difference? Are sales growing? Which we can do, very specifically per person as opposed to everyone else. Because if one person's growing and our one of our leaders says, oh, I have 3 people who are growing. Well, okay, great. But if we track, if nobody else in the company's growing and those 3 are growing, then you're a superstar. But if they're growing at the same pace as everybody else in the company, you're just riding the wave and taking credit for it.
Very true.
So,
very true. No, that's good insights. And I've heard the same, like from other CEOs and clients of ours, like really having that relationship, especially as a startup, working with your field, having that very tight relationship between ownership, leadership, and the field is so key to providing that the relationship you're talking about here.
Absolutely.
We have about 4 minutes left. So any parting thoughts, any things that you wanted to add, or again, even beyond that, right, with your experience in sales and kind of what's changed, any parting thoughts on what people should be considering?
I think, last week you talked about transition and how companies can transition. And, it's been said over years that if you're not growing, you're either going forward or backward. There really isn't any standing still. And so, is your business growing? Is it going backwards? In either event, the key to change, good change, bad change, the key to all kind of to recognizing or analyzing bad change, or recognizing and projecting good change and tracking it, is having the right information at your fingertips. And, companies like ByDesign, as you know, Daryl, you provide a lot of good tools for people to be able to look at that. What we're doing with our analytics machine and our commission engine, and even tagging on with what you are doing, as you know, is we're giving them additional reports where they can really bear down or drill in and see what's really happening and see how that benefits. And so, I'd say your business is going to change. Everybody listening, no matter where you're coming from, thanks for coming. Thanks for re-listening to this broadcast. But everybody listening is thinking about the change of the future, and how do you best analyze that, and how do you best make the proper decisions strategically. It's basically with good information.
Totally makes sense. Great insights, Jeff, and it totally makes sense. I mean, being able to know what your decisions are gonna impact, and I think that's the thing that makes it really difficult, is if you don't have that, you're guessing, right? And you're guessing with significant capital, significant implications of that. So
Yep.
good data is a key aspect. So no, I sincerely appreciate your time, Jeff. I hope our listeners got some good insights out of this.
Great to be here. Glad it helped, and let's do it again.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks, Jeff. Thanks for everybody who joined.
Thanks, Daryl. Thanks, everybody. Talk later. Bye.